traditional publishing
That's mind
editing
numbing.
structures and stuff.
Oh
That's
my
like,
God.
yeah.
This is
It's like,
something.
why does it need to be like everybody else's thing? How is that going to sell more copies? You know?
Essentially, with the reason why the self-publishing thing has picked up so much, there are like three main reasons. One reason is it is very easy, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a proper marketing strategy in place, you can maybe earn more than you would from a book advance under traditional publishing. That is reason number one. Reason number two is self-publishing on Amazon could actually, or on any other platform, could actually be a great lead magnet for your websites. So you
Yep.
can, kind of be like, I am combining my posts or I am combining my writing insights into a free ebook or a paid ebook,
Yeah.
which you can download from my website. Where
Yep.
when you go there, you have to put your email ID and stuff, and essentially that's a lead magnet. You are helping
Yeah.
someone generate sort of a following, so to speak. Nothing wrong with that. That is reason number two. This is why influencers are very frequently come up with books. It helps them.
Yeah.
And the third reason is creators get rejected a lot in traditional publishing, because essentially creators will create, okay, and we are not
Yeah.
talking about successful people. We're talking about people who had some unique idea.
Mm.
They kind of interpreted the unique idea, and then they went to these different publishing houses and they presented it. And
Mm.
the MBA with no experience in writing is going to tell you this is not how
Yep.
writing works and stuff like that, and they're going to
Yeah.
reject your book.
Yep.
And you're going to go through that 500 more times, and
Yeah.
finally you're like, God, I'm tired, and then you
Yeah.
self-publish. These
Because
are
the
the
thing is,
three.
you need to find a way, your own writing style and your way of doing it that aligns with you. Because if you're doing it the way that somebody else is saying, that's where all the writer's block comes in, and just not being able to write what you know that you have potential to. So yeah, it's just
it's it's
yeah,
it's a it's a
it's
very
difficult.
very it's a very it's a very murky topic, and we can go into
Yes.
that if people are interested, because traditional publishing versus self-publishing versus getting those publishing houses that print your books at your expense, and then
Yeah.
you are the one who has to sell it. These are three ways in which you could become like a writer.
Yeah.
And none of these three ways are wrong, and none of these three ways are right. Like when we say 100% the way to go, because each has its unfortunate pitfalls. And with traditional publishing, I
Yeah.
think oftentimes creativity is the one that goes on the axe, because they'll be like, you can't have this in a book, or you have to have this in a book,
Mm,
or you have to do this, do that,
yeah.
arrange it like this, use this font, not do this, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
And while the publishing houses, they come from a good place of they want the book to sell more.
Yeah.
What unfortunately ends up happening is that creates a feedback loop, which kind of keeps creating the same kind of books. So
Yeah.
if you
It's
look at
it's it's
horror.
yeah. It's like if you think about just business in general, if you're doing the same as everybody else, how are you meant to be a great success if you're specifically speaking to a certain type of person or certain types of people? Then they're going to really like latch onto it and be like, yes, this is brilliant. And as a side effect, you still get other people who are like, yeah, actually, I really like that. Maybe not as passionately as the others, but yeah, it's just annoying to me because it's logical in my mind, and people are too illogical for me.
That is what, no, this is why I didn't get an MBA, to be honest. I
Yeah,
qualified for a college, and then a very good college actually, and I went there, saw the curriculum, and it was like,
yeah,
they are not teaching you industry specific jobs. They are just teaching you how to be business executives.
Yeah.
So as a business executive, I'll get out, I can join TV, I can join uh, writing, like the writing industry,
Yeah.
or I can join like a tech company, or I can join, essentially with my degree I can join any of these random fields,
Yep.
and just based on my tag I'll get that job.
Yeah.
And because I
It's
don't have
ridiculous.
any core experience in the field that I'm joining, I will mostly be taking business decisions. We can't really
Yeah.
blame them for this, because again, that's the way the world works, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, so you're going to have to
Yeah.
let it
Well,
go.
it needs to change. We shouldn't
But
be just accepting it.
who see, that is we shouldn't be accepting it, but for that you need, like, you know, revolutions.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
for that people need to have means in which they could survive. At the end
Hmm.
of the day, you need a house, you need food, you need
Absolutely.
clothes,
But
and to
that
get
that
that you
isn't to
have to
say
be
that you
productive.
can't do the small things that chip away over a long enough period of time. It's not saying, right, you need to have a martyr or martyrs or anything, um, and people who are, like, devoting life to, the revolution that is writing. I think it's just chipping away at it, saying, no, no, that specific thing,
I know.
I'm not moving on that. It's not
I
saying,
mean,
right, it has to be all my way. Just
see,
doing. I mean, like, for
I am
example,
rebelling.
just the self-publishing for me. The self-publishing was an act of rebellion in and of itself, because the stuff that I discovered and I was teaching and passionate about, nobody wanted to know. And I was like, when you write a book about something, then people start listening. So I did, and that's what started the whatever it is. My brain's gone blank. But yeah, and now there are tons of people interested um, in England, Sweden, Denmark, rest of Europe, and even further afield. So there are things that we can do. There are things
Definitely,
within our
that's what,
power.
like little acts of rebellion.
Yes.
And if that little act of rebellion resonates with people, well and good. If
Yep.
not, you continue powering through. That's essentially
Yep.
what I. That's the decision I made, because we can't keep doing the same things and expect different results. That
No,
literally not
exactly.
how it works.
No, and
So
that's like with our books, our co-authored ones, why it was so important for us to keep each other's individual voices. Because where do you get that? Where do you actually truly get that? It's like, oh, this
exactly.
genre must sound like this sort of thing, and that's what I really, really struggled with the review paper. It was like everything must be stuffy and boring, and we're very, educated and scientific. We must make this sound as boring as possible, so we sound as intelligent as possible. And it's like you lose, like, the countless amount of papers that I've had to be like matchsticks. Like, you must, like, get through this to get to the content that you need, and it's just torturous. And it's like, and for
I
what? For
totally
what?
understand.
For just, oh yes, so then we look like, professional. And it's like, professional comes in so many different forms, but there's just like this
Exactly.
narrow mindset. Anyway, yeah.
That's
I'll get off my
perfect.
soapbox.